Good evening, everyone. I have 6:30. Today is Tuesday, December 20th. I'd like to welcome you all to the Columbus Common Council regular meeting. And with that, if our city clerk, Pat Gable, could take a roll call.
Albright.
Present.
Mayor Arnold is excused. Gray.
Present.
Motive.
Present.
Reed.
Here.
Rolke.
Present.
Steiner.
Here. Thank you. And this meeting was properly noticed, so, sorry, I am not accustomed to doing the Pledge of Allegiance, so let's go there. Next up is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. All right. And next up on the agenda is to approve the agenda. Just a quick note, items number 4, 5, and 6 go with item number 2. So I would take a motion to approve the agenda and remove items 4, 5, and 6. They're superfluous tonight.
Alder Rolke moves to approve the agenda with the requested removals.
Alder Steiner will second.
I have a motion from Alder Rolke and a second from Alder Steiner. All in favor?
I'm not sure. I'm sorry. So we're not going to amend the ordinance?
It's all part of number 2.
Oh, okay. Then I've heard. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Then next up on the agenda is correspondence and communications. I don't have anyone signed up tonight. Was there anyone that wished to speak that didn't get a chance to sign up? Seeing none? All right. And then we're going to the consent agenda. On the consent agenda, you'll see the Council and Committee of the Whole minutes from 12/6/22, and also the approval of operators licenses. Are there any questions or comments on the consent agenda? If not, I'll take a motion.
Alder Albright will make a motion to approve the council, the consent agenda.
Alder Steiner will second.
I have a motion from Alder Albright and a second from Alder Steiner. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. The consent agenda is approved. Next up is item number 1 under new business is to consider and take action on the carryover of salaried flex time. We discussed this in the Committee of the Whole on the 6th. Did anyone have any questions or comments? If none, I'll take a motion.
Alder Rolke will move to approve carryover of flex hours into 2023.
Reed will second.
I have a motion from Alder Rolke and a second from Alder Reed. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Perfect. Then moving on to item number 2 is to consider and take actions on the changes of the utility superintendent title as recommended by the Utility Commission. So in your packet, you'll see that they're recommending to change it to the utility director instead of superintendent, and you'll see the changes to the ordinance necessary to do that. So this is where we get to items number 4, 5, and 6. If this is the direction the council would like to go, item number 4 would be the first motion.
But I have a question
Go ahead.
first, please. So I was reading through the ordinance change, and I'm specifically looking at number 3, Paul. Where that goes through in the second and then the second to last and the last sentences of that paragraph, the title should just be utility director, not director of water and light, utility, director of water and light, director of utility.
There are, I changed the word superintendent to director, but I wasn't sure if I was supposed to make that second jump.
That was the recommendation of the Utility Commission.
Okay?
I see what the intention is in here is, so we have ordinances for water and light, and then it would read the director for water and light under those. We could change that, we would have to change
Because-
more ordinances then.
Because it's just utility director. There is not a separate water and light director, a director for wastewater, for anything. Everything under the utility is just one utility director.
Right, but when speaking of the water and light department, he's the director of, or she is the director of that when speaking about each department, they're a director, and that's more of what this is saying.
Yeah, I think that may be correct in that, like, for example, there's the electric utility, and then it discusses the electric utility, and I think it discusses the director in each utility, so that may be the easiest way to do it.
Without amending many ordinance.
Yeah. Paul, is that what you were thinking?
Paragraph 3 began as my intention of, well, I'm going to bet I missed one somewhere along the way. So whatever I missed, I'm trying to pick up with paragraph 3.
Okay.
It was not my intent to create this conversation, but it would seem to me that I can change you can amend the 4th line there so that the title is now utility director, and then you'll clean up all of those. I think that's still, I think I've caught all of the superintendent references throughout the code and including a few public works superintendent that I cleaned up. I'm not really sure why, but I did anyway. But I think that if you make that amendment to paragraph 3, that probably gets.
Just by saying utility director?
Right.
Yeah.
If you're trying to make utility director the phrase for everything, then we should change that 4th line, and then I think you're good, because we still have to pick up all the former superintendent references.
Right.
And change that.
Because here was my other concern, if we don't make it universal like that, if we add a utility or take away a utility, then we're still updating all of that code.
So if the 4th line reads, shall be amended so the title is now utility director, and then the 5th line says, or director of public works as appropriate, then I think that would solve the issue.
I would like to see that.
All right, and then I will entertain any motions.
Alder Motif will make a motion to accept the ordinance as amended, stating utility director in item 3. So it reads utility director or director of public works as appropriate.
I have a motion from Alder Motive.
Remember, you still have to do your 3-step
Right, it's just-
process.
Oh,
Yeah.
right,
Okay.
right.
She was just clarifying.
Yeah, me too, I'm sorry.
Right,
You
but
want to do
yeah,
number
just,
4 as long as you're, oh, I guess I'll second her motion for
as
the
long
change.
as you don't forget.
Right. Yeah, I suppose if Alder Motive, if you would like to withdraw your motion.
I can withdraw my motion.
Thank you. So in order to move forward with this, the first motion needs to be to suspend the rules.
Alder Steiner will make a motion to suspend the rules for ordinance 779-22.
Alder Motif will second.
I have a motion from Alder Steiner and a second from Alder Motive. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. And then next up would be to waive the readings.
Alder Motif will make a motion to waive the readings.
Alder Rolke will second.
I have a motion from Alder Motive and a second from Alder Rolke to waive the readings for ordinance number 779-22. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Then next up would be to consider and adopt. This is the one that if you want to amend it, I would make the motion to amend it along with this.
Okay, so we'll go back to my original motion?
Basically, yes.
Okay, so Alder Motif will make a motion to accept ordinance 779-22 with the amendment in paragraph 3 to change it to read utility director or director of public works as appropriate.
I have a motion from Alder Motive.
Alder Rolke will second.
All right, I have a motion from Alder Motive and a second from Alder Rolke to adopt ordinance number 779-22 with the change to item number 3 on lines 4 and 5, removing Director of Water and Light Utility, Director of Water and Light, Director of Utility, and replacing that with Utility Director, and keeping the rest the same, or Public Works as appropriate. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Thank you, everyone. Next up is to consider and take action in claims in the amount of $250,000. Oh, yeah, that, I went all the way down because we did 4, 5, and 6. I skipped it, so thank you. Consider and take action on the pool rates recommendations. So this is something that we talked about during the last committee of the whole. Any comments or? Go ahead, Alder.
No, I just had a question on the reduction in open swim hours parts. Let's see. So I think it's proposed to close at 8 p.m. period, and then if the weather is hot, they would advertise to stay open longer? I didn't quite understand what they're offering.
My thought was, what we had talked about was, gosh, if it's 100 degrees and extra humid, are you going to close no matter what? And it was one of those, no, based on circumstances, we would be flexible. And if it was, extraordinarily warm, we would try to offer the flexibility and stay open longer based on conditions.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I would definitely want the pool available longer if, we're opening a cooling center. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Alder. Alder Motive?
So it says in here that closing it earlier helps the CAAC, Sarah can't talk tonight, to better follow labor laws. Are they still able to do that if they remain open longer on some days?
It's the labor laws in question are because a large portion of the employees are below the age to work past 8 p.m. So they would have to have, or 9 p.m.
Right, so that's my
They would have
question.
to have the people there in order to do it. So that would be a day-to-day consideration, just like if it was hot. It'd have to be hot and have the appropriate staffing.
And do they have that to be able to do that, Kyle?
I think it depends. They have no staff right now. And so, and not, it depends how many come back. And
Right.
so, as we talked about with some of the wages, it's been trending younger, the staffing. A lot of the older staff have gone away. Some of that was COVID and other things. So I think that remains to be seen. But if wages go up, I think you might see a shift coming back to retain a more senior, this is all relative, maybe like literally high school senior, but a more senior staff that could stay a little bit longer.
Over 16?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
okay.
So I just have a quick question. So that flexibility in regards to if it's hot out, is that flexibility going to be available if Amy Jo or they have like their beach party? They have special events going on. Are you going to be able to leave it? Are you planning on leaving it open? Are they going to have that flexibility if they have the staff?
Special events would be scheduled whatever the hours of that special events. That would be completely separate from any regular operating hours.
Yeah, I think that's an operational decision that they would make.
Any other thoughts or comments? Is everyone okay with the meat of this? That's the actual rates? All right, then I will entertain a motion.
Alder Rolke will move to approve the updated pool rate recommendations for 2023.
Alder Albright will second that.
I have a motion from Alder Rolke and a second from Alder Albright. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. That is approved. Now we're going to go to item number 7, and consider and take action on claims in the amount of $250,718.68. Any questions or comments on the claims? All right, then I'll take a motion.
Alder Motive will make a motion to approve the claims in the amount of $250,718.68.
Alder Albright will second that.
I have a motion from Alder Motive and a second from Alder Albright. Pat, if you could take a roll call for us, please.
Gray.
Aye.
Motive.
Aye.
Reed.
Aye.
Rolke.
Aye.
Steiner.
Aye.
Albright.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much. And then next up is the report of city officers. Go ahead, Kyle.
All right, thank you. Just a couple items. Folsom Street Public Information Meeting was held last week. Jason and Letha presented the plans as they stand so far. They have moved them forward, and we're getting prepared to send a bid package out. There were a few residents, but if you are hearing that there's any questions or concerns out there, or if you have any questions, please let us know. And we can get additional information. We don't have the specifics yet on special assessments. That will come as we get more final details on quantities and estimated costs. The next 2 Fridays and Mondays are closed for most city offices to recognize the holidays, so we'll be closed on December 23rd, which is a Friday, and December 26th, which is a Monday, and then also December 30th, which is a Friday, and January 2nd, which is a Monday. So be aware of those kind of shortened weeks. Also, just to mention to the council, we had the holiday lunch last week with all of the city employees invited. And that was greatly appreciated. We really enjoyed it, and so we're all very thankful to the council for making that possible, especially after a couple years where it really wasn't practical. We really enjoyed it. Pat even said she was going to extend her employment by a couple years because of it. So it was really a positive experience, and just thank you for making that possible again. Kind of flipping to something negative, winter weather. I've been talking about it for a few meetings now, but it's very likely we're going to have another snow event coming up. It's very likely that a snow emergency will be called here in the next couple days. So it's a good idea to start making your plans, reviewing the snow emergency rules and regulations. You can check the signs, look at Facebook, sign up for email blasts, check the website, look at cable. If you have questions, you can email us, call us on the telephone. But essentially, the goal is to get the cars off of the streets so that the streets can be cleared curb to curb and make it safer for everybody, including the plow drivers, and make the snow operation more successful and more efficient. We did have a snow emergency last week, and there were unfortunately a number of tickets written, and we hope that doesn't happen again. But again, this is really to make it safer for everyone and more efficient. So looking at it, it at least has looked like the forecast has rolled back a little bit. So we're not looking at maybe as bad, but there still is a possibility for a very significant snow event. Really does look like it's inevitable that it will be a snow emergency. So be prepared, and happy holidays, everyone. That's all I have.
Thank you, Kyle. The mayor did not pass on anything to me. I would just like to follow up with Kyle and say that our holiday party did go great. I had the privilege of attending, and it was a lot of fun, and hope that we just keep that as an annual event in the future. And with the snow emergencies, with all the tickets, I would really strongly encourage people to sign up for the text or email so that you know when it's over. I've heard from a lot of constituents that they believe that it's automatically over once their street is plowed, and that is not the case. It is not over. You can't park on the streets legally until it's been rescinded, and you will be able to know that right away if you sign up for the text or email blast. With that, I would take a motion to adjourn.
Alder Steiner will make a motion to adjourn.
Alder Motive will second.
I have a motion from Alder Steiner and a second from Alder Motive. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we stand adjourned. Does anyone want a quick break before the committee of the whole? Or we can take it before closed session? All right, then. Then moving right along, I would like to welcome everyone to the Columbus Common Council Committee of the Whole. I have 6:50 PM, and today is Tuesday, December 20th. With that, if our city clerk, Pat Gable, could take a roll call, please.
Albright.
Present?
Gray.
Present?
Motive.
Present.
Reed.
Here.
Rolke.
Present.
Steiner.
Here.
Thank you very much. This meeting was properly noticed, so next up on the agenda is to approve the agenda. Any questions or comments on the agenda? All right, then I'll take a motion.
Reed moves to approve the agenda as presented.
Alder Rolke will second.
I have a motion from Alder Reed and a second from Alder Rolke. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much. Next up is citizen comments. I do not have anyone signed up. Was there anyone that didn't get a chance to sign up that would like to speak? Seeing none. Moving right along. Item number 5 is department reports. In your packet, you will find reports from the DPW, the library, Lifestar, the police department, the treasurer, and the wastewater treatment plant. Anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns on any of those? Perfect. Then moving on is to review the DPW request to purchase a small dump truck. It's a cab and chassis. Would you like to give us a little more info on that, Jerry?
Already
It's on already. You're good.
Already on, look at that. Good evening. Bear with me, it's been a long day, long week so far, and looks like it's only going to get longer, like Kyle said. The item request that you have before you is to update the Public Works 1 ton, they call it, a small dump truck. It's a 1994 dump truck. My first year here, funds were allocated in 2021 to do this in 2022, but for some unforeseen expenses and some other reasons, instead of asking for more money or trying to work it in, we felt it was better to carry it over till this year. This truck here is due to be replaced. Short and simple, it's one of the oldest 1 tons in the state of Wisconsin municipal fleet services. So it's by far outlived its life expectancy. I will point out that I did take the time in 2021 to get a fleet quote on this, and the cost at that time was $40,050.72, and now our fleet cost is, I believe it's $51,216. So you can see the fluctuation and the increases in a lot of these costs. This is a pretty straightforward request. We are only asking to do the cab and chassis right now, even though there are some additional funds there and we feel we could do the entire truck. We're being told that the cab and chassis won't be provided to us until late next winter. So we get this approved and order it now. We won't see it until all the way through this plow season and all the way next season. One of the items we are doing with this truck is it seems historically that some of the trucks have been divided down in Public Works where this truck only does this and this truck only does this, and then seasonally they sit. We're starting to take these trucks and reduce our fleet and make some of the equipment and trucks multifunctional. So when we go for the second part of the build on this truck, it's a cab chassis only purchase right now. We will at that time then be going for the build on the back and then adding the option of like a salt spreader, so you can actually use this truck in the winter and then also in the summer. Right now, the 1 ton is only being used in the summer, so just a little bit of input right there. But yeah, we're just asking to do a cab chassis purchase, and the information that you have in front of you is a fleet cost, so it's the lowest price that we can get.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Did anyone have any questions for Jerry while he's here? Perfect. Thank you so much. Is everyone okay with moving forward to the next? Okay, perfect. Then next up is to review the fire department bylaw change request. And let me get to that page. We do have the chief here with us tonight. Did you want to say anything on that, chief, or?
Pretty much what I got. It's on already. Good evening. It's pretty much everything I've got written in the memo. It's been 20 years that we've had it for length of service for honorary membership. It's not many departments in the state of Wisconsin that individuals go that long, they have to be into it, and with these times now, it's harder to get people to stick around that long, so it was voted on membership, we had discussion, and being the LOSA, or it's called SAP now, Service Award Program, it changed from 20 years to 15. We thought maybe moving the honorary membership to 15 years to align with the SAP program would be beneficial. So we unanimously voted to do that. You know, some older members that are honoraries, they said, why are you changing it? But, you know, it's not taking anything away from what they did. It's just a change to keep up with the program.
Thank you very much, Chief. And, I mean, that sounds perfectly logical to me. Anyone, any questions, or is everyone okay with moving this forward to the next meeting?
Yes.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, yes, no, I'm very okay. Looking down, the changes voted on with the membership shall be awarded to ANT member. I'm sure that should be any.
Right. And thank you for that. I'm sure we will get that caught on the next one. Thankfully, this is just a memo, so spelling errors are okay.
Yeah, so what will happen now, because these are bylaws, Attorney Johnson will actually take this and put it into the actual form that will amend the bylaws.
Right.
And that'll come back in a more official format.
Thank you, Kyle. Does that make sense? Oh, go ahead.
It does. And then it just looks like you're changing from like fireman to fire service person? Okay. All right, thank you.
More updated PC term, I suppose. All right. Then moving right along. Next item on the agenda is to convene to closed session per 19.851E. Deliberating or negotiating the purchase of public properties, the investment of public funds, or conducting other public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session, specifically to discuss potential developments in the city of Columbus, TIF 6.
Alder Motif will make a motion to convene to closed session per 19851E.
Alder Albright will second that.
I have a motion from Alder Motif and a second from Alder Albright. All in favor? Oh, sorry. Roll call. Pat, if you could please take a roll call for us.
Gray,
Aye.
Motif,
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
Rolke,
Aye.
Steiner, Albright.
Aye.
Motion
Thank you very much. We will be moving into closed session now, and we will not be coming back to the air tonight. So thank you, everyone that's been here. Have a great night.